departed in that blood-stained home. Two watched it happen, but left them alone. BK's the patsy in their crooked frame job, while Moscow PD fudges facts, bunch of dirty slobs. DM saw a killer 3 feet in the hall, heard whimpers and crying through the thin bedroom wall. But she locked her door tighter as the footsteps passed by, while 4 friends lay dying. Ask yourself why. 8 hours silent, too long, while heartbeats ran cold. See cold. That's not just trauma, that's the story they sold. 8 hours too late. Why wait? What were they hiding that night? Hiding. 8 hours too late. Conspiracy covered in morning light. Did they scrub the crime scene? Scrub it. Coordinate lies. 8 hours too late. While the FBI framed an innocent man. Why wait for sunrise? Why call friends first? Tell me why. Unconscious person that rehearsed lines the worst. Were they destroying evidence, washing blood down the drain? Insane. Texting the real killer, the cops are a train. ISP altered body cam footage with shame. Shame on you. FBI pressured witnesses to play their game. Play the game. That party house reputation, secrets they'd keep, while Brian's the sacrifice, so the guilty sleep. 8 hours silent, calculated, while alibis said set in stone. That's not just shock, that's a debt to be met. 8 hours too late. Why wait? What were they hiding that night? Hiding. 8 hours too late. Conspiracy covered in morning light. Did they scrub the crime scene? Scrub it. Coordinate lies. 8 hours too late. While the FBI framed an innocent man. 3 agencies weaving their tapestry fake, while roommates were buying time for evidence to break. Did the killer pay them off? Were they holding the stash? 8 hours of silence while the blue lights flash.
Blood on their hands, a serpent's breath, 4 shadows left in a house of death. A pack of wolves in a kangaroo court. Truth gets lost in a locked report. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. Frat boys swear on a broken vow. Pi beta whisper she lied anyhow. They're gonna get you said where the cameras sync when timelines converge.
Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the... Do you like golf, Yvonne? Do you like golf? Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the... Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the...
And that's how they did that. And that's why Kaylee and how Kaylee was done in the head. And that's why she had those marks, those lines, was from the golf club. And that's why she was in the head. Watch it one more time.
Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the...
See what I mean? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. Boom. Good evening, my beautiful crime family. Still not up to par. Still kind of feeling under the weather a little bit. But I'm here. Yeah. And welcome to Once Upon a Crime Time. And I'm your host, Tommy Jude. And I want to say hi to the beautiful crime family. Kathy0205, good to see you. Debbie Gazzardo, my girl, good to see you. Crime Spy, good to see you. Joey, good to see you. Jackie Bushable, good to see you. Green Electric Mama Blog, good to see you. Randy Fur, my brother, good to see you. Coco, my girl, good to see you. Cindy Abbott, good to see you. Deborah Lynn, my girl, good to see you. Jane Kendall, good to see you, girl. Bianca, girl, good to see you. Sherry Irvin, good to see you. Jethro Troll, good to see you. Jill Kindle, good to see you. JS218, good to see you. Transformer Uplifter, good to see you. Bandana Rama, good to see you. Archer and the Empress Tarot, good to see you. Social Glow, good to see you. And all you chatters, I seen, what's your name's way up there? Kim B, good to see you. A Ray, good to see you. Where are you? Wow, a lot of chatting going on. That's good to see. That's good to see. A lot of chatters. Wow. Okay. And Sue Ann, good to see you. From South Africa. Yes, good to see you. Dana Puffin stuff, good to see you. And anyway, yeah, so my producer found that and was watching that movie last night. And they're like, that's how it was done. They just ran across this on a movie, and it's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Think about that. So, and that would take 3 people. That would take 3 people to do it like that. And when you hold your arms like this, their head goes down. And that's how she got it in the face with that golf club. And here's another thing. Here's another boom. Okay, here's another boom. Bethany seen a flash and heard what she thought was a firecracker. How about this? How about they didn't come in the goddamn sliding door? You know what they never talk about? And excuse my language there. You know what they never talk about? Is the first floor door. They never talk about that first floor door. What if they came in the first door? And the first floor door went right to the golf club room, grabbed the golf club, and while they're putting it up, bam, into the light. It kind of sounds like it can sound, when they pop, it can sound like a firecracker, and that would be the flash. I mean, we're trying to figure this stuff out. What caused the flash? What sounded like a firecracker? Think about it. And on the first floor, not the second floor where the sliding glass door is. No. They went into the first floor door. And went right to that, and they knew those golf clubs were there. This is people that knew that house. They knew that house. They go in and grab a golf club, and as they're going up, they hit the light. Pop! Flash! It could have been a light in the hallway too, right? Twat waffles in the house. And that came right from Twat waffle. Yeah, and that movie, by the way, is Unspeakable Sins on Netflix. I think it's a series. It's all plausible, right, Deborah? Yeah. I mean, we're trying to make sense of it, and I'm pretty sure that the golf club played a part in Kaylee, the first one. I'm pretty sure. And they said that she was, STABBED in the head, top of the head. Well, producers watching this last night.
Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the...
Takes 3 people. 3 people. And to me, that makes sense of how she got in the head. Everything points to more people. I'd like to know opinions out there if you think that BK might have had something to do with it. As in, maybe he taught cleanup or did the cleanup or something. Or this could be just a ploy and they're going to be coming out smoking. And it could have been a ploy to get everything released. I mean, think about it. Everything's getting released now. And there's guilters out there that aren't guilters anymore. They're starting to ask questions. They're starting to go, what the fuck? What the fuck? When they're reading these documents. We didn't know that. What the hell? Crazy case, man. It hasn't gotten any less crazier since he's pled. Okay. The only thing that It's made it more confusing, is all it's done. And I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. There's some things I want to show you tonight too. What else was I thinking though about the house? That's kind of the main things. Though I don't think they went in that sliding glass door. I don't think they went in the sliding glass door and went down and got the golf club and then went up the stair. That doesn't even make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. They might have went out the sliding glass door, but they didn't come in the sliding glass door. All right, Carolyn. It's more confusing. It really is. And it's hard on people, you know. One thing that I know that's going around right now, and Pavarotti, and you know, Pavarotti does good work and everything, but I don't agree on some stuff. And one thing I don't agree with, and I know there's going to be people out there that don't like what I show here, but I got to show it because I do not believe that clock is at 4 o'clock. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. Now we're going to listen to the Moscow one here. Okay, so let me. A second. Stupid. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's. God. I go backwards and they want to run more ads again. I mean, it's just like crazy. Okay, so anyway, let me show this here. Hell, there we go. Okay.
Guys, Moscow PD, come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey,
What is going on there?
Is that beer in your hand?
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm 21. You got the ID on you? I don't.
I'm going to have to do a different setting. There you go. That might help. Okay, so anyway, I was curious. About that timing that Pavarotti came up with, and others have come up with videos on it and stuff. And so I thought I would check something, and I'm just gonna let this play. This is from Law and Crime. I want you to watch this here a little bit. It's silent at the start here.
Hey guys, Moscow PD, come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
Right there. Right there. Did you hear that? Now this is Banfield, and what Pavarotti is trying to say is that this is 354 and not
Moscow PD.
254.
Come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID on you?
All right. So you hear the honks, right? I mean, we've been through this stuff a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, oh, that's what it. No, it isn't. Here we go. So let's go to Linda Lane. And here we go. 253. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? So, I mean, that's hard. You know, I mean, come on. It wasn't 4 o'clock when they were doing this shit. We've been over this stuff before. There you go. Right on time. You know, Linda Lane is like 2 minutes off or something like that, or not quite 2 minutes. So I wanted to clear that up and get that out of the way because it's not 4 o'clock. Okay. Oh, are you serious? Not there, though. Not there. It's right on the money with the honks. And Hunter's statement says he went up the stairwell. He would have had to have been on the first floor. He went up the stairs and got a knife in the kitchen. He went upstairs to get a knife in the kitchen. Think about that for a second. Yeah, but the honk, Latia, I don't know. All I know is that he did the thing to unlock it, probably because they were walking over there. I don't know. All I know is the honk is there, and the honk is on Banfield at the same time. So I mean, that pretty much It tells you it was the same time as what it's listed as. Yeah, they hit the button twice. Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to clear that up. I'm going to get these out of the way here. Boom, boom. And I remember going over that stuff a long time ago, the honks matching up. Do you guys remember that? And I mean, we were trying to match up everything and everything matched up. And it's just, I don't know. some things are right twat. Yeah, some people just hit it twice. But anyway, let me see what I got else I got here. I wanted to show. Do I go? What do I go to here first? I don't know how long I'm going to go today. I still don't feel that good here. Okay. Now, this one might bother some people too, but it's just the theory that was sent. It's not me. It's not my theory, but it makes you think. So I'm going to show you what came in. It came into the tip line. Okay. It came into the tip line, and it's from somebody from Berkeley. And so I thought I would share that. And let me make sure it's up here. Where are you? Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, that's the wrong one. What the heck? Where is it? Oh my God. I even named them wrong. It's not been my day today either. Okay, so we'll go here. And look at this. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so there we go. And oh. All right, so remember, this isn't me, okay? But this came into the tip line here. The following email message was generated by a user filling in a contact form on your website. It was sent to the following IP address, blah, 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 okay? So here we go. Hi, have you considered the possibility that one or more of the women who lived at the house were working as prostitutes? That is fairly common for women in college these days. From the photo on her wanted notice, CK, the mother of one of the victims, looks like a habitual user. Here in Berkeley, Oakland area, a lot of meth addicts pee themselves, pros themselves to get money for drugs. If she is a pro, it is quite possible that her daughter might have been exposed to that lifestyle and maybe even been pimped up. I don't believe that shit right there. I'm going to say that right now. That's bullshit. I only mention this because if any women who lived in the house, including, there's some stuff in here, though, that should be at least thought about. I only mention this because if any of the women who lived in the house, including the ones who survived, have ever worked as that could open up an entire world of people with motive to have them killed. If Kohlberger didn't kill them, it is possible he interrupted the people who were committing the red rooms, and they left before the killing the remaining housemates, which they might have been planning to do. If any of these women were pros, they could have also had contacts with Idaho or Washington members of Congress, which could provide a motive for the Ukrainians to take an interest in them. There is stuff coming out on Ukrainians here too, and that's why we're digging into some stuff here that's kind of crazy. But where am I here? At here, it's also possible. It is also possible that Kohlberger was a pro's customer of one of them, or that as a peeping Tom who was staring in their windows from the bushes or from his car. That could be another reason his phone might have pinged in the area near the house so many times. I read that Zana was covered in bruises as a result of fighting with the Red Rummers. I don't see how Kohlberger could have fought with her like that without her screaming. So it is looking more and more like, to me, like he didn't commit the Red Rums. I don't know if law enforcement has interviewed friends of the victims, and if so, whether they have asked if any of them were prostituting themselves. In general, I would think that if they were, some friends of theirs would possibly have heard about it. You might also look at archive.org for the websites advertising escorts in Moscow, Idaho, to see if any of the women had an ad up for any of those sites. Now, it might not be that, but how about escorting, going to dinners, that kind of thing? I could see them doing it, because I've heard that. Matter of fact, I seen at the very beginning of this case, I'm sure it was Kaylee doing an OnlyFans thing, and then the video got taken down right away. It's just, is that stuff? Are they going to let that out? Are they going to release that kind of stuff? And all the stuff that they're releasing right now is a bunch of bullshit. Like the stuff from Pullman. What a bunch of crap in there. I mean, really. And I'll show you a video from there. I do got the videos. I've looked at them. They're junk. They're junk. Yeah, that was a tip. That was a tip that came in there. So it has nothing to do with me. I just thought it was interesting because of, I was thinking like more like escorting. They could have been maybe involved in something like that, because that would bring like some bad characters into their life. I'm just wondering if they ever checked into that kind of stuff. I'm not saying they did it, so don't go there. I'm gonna see what everybody's saying. Okay, no more sugar babies. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Something like that, cryptic. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like it. Sugar babies. Yeah, and that. They should. Kohlberger might have been a customer. Maybe that's why he was around that area so many times. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. What we come across. I know that some of the stuff we're running into is like really crazy. Anyway, let's see what else I got here. I think I'm just going to go to this, and yeah, I'll show you. This. Okay, so does anybody remember? Does anybody remember in Pullman when this person came into that house where those 4 girls were living, and he had a knife? You guys remember that? You guys remember that at all? There was 4 girls living, and the guy got into the house. You guys remember that? Well, in those videos is that when they went to the house. And matter of fact, that's pretty much all the videos are kind of. I'll show you at least some of that because it is quite long. But I'll show you what they put out there, because I don't know if you guys have seen this yet or not. But this is from 10/10 of 21. It's 10:30 at night. Here we go. The mic will turn on here in a bit. I don't know why they don't have the mic on, but it isn't on. But they're going to that house right now. Oh. All right. So they're kind of like hanging around that house because it was supposed to be in progress when they called it in.
Copy. A door moved near the back as well. Somebody's going to this door already. She's right. Yeah, I think it was. See them. They're in my backyard. Okay. Hi.
Yeah, SATIE.
How many people are with you?
4. There's me and 3 of them.
Are you guys able to come out to this car?
Yeah, we can come out.
Guys, come out here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Can I go grab a pair of shoes really quick?
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Sorry. Thank you guys for coming.
Have you seen anybody?
No, but I got home 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
So
so
my roommate, Alex.
So I'm trying to protect you from whoever this is. So if you guys can
Okay, go on.
go. Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, the good old redactions.
This right 407-453.
Like I said, it's pretty much junk of what they showed.
The 4 occupants of the house are now outside the back door.
But I think why they're trying to show this is because they actually suspected Brian Kohlberger of
Are
doing
you able to
this,
get in
which
that
is a
car?
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I just parked it. Yes. Her keys are yes. Yes.
Wait. Where are your keys?
They're in the house. They should be on the table, the kitchen table right up there.
Okay, stay right there.
Okay.
Go ahead. Oh, from kitchen table.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, if you guys could wait in the car.
This is Pullman. This is Pullman in Pullman. This is one of the Pullman videos.
Do you want to back up to this door and I'll ask them a couple questions, or do you want to stay where you're at?
But I can see the
Basement.
I can see the stairwell.
Okay, so stay where you're at. I'm gonna check this.
I just
Okay.
if you want to ask them where they saw, or if they were leaving.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Where did you see this person?
I was asleep,
Oh,
and
check
then
this
I woke
out.
up me,
Okay.
and
Check
it was
this
just
out.
me
This
and
is a
Jake
year
at the time,
earlier.
and we both lived down in the basement, and my door was closed. I heard my door open, and I looked over, and someone was wearing a ski mask and had a knife like this.
Oh, okay.
And so I like kicked the shit out of their stomach and screamed super loud, and they like flew back into my closet and then ran out my door and up the stairs.
Okay, and that's the last you know is they ran up the stairs?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
when they got home, this back door was wide open.
Okay, how long ago did this happen?
Maybe 15, 20 minutes at most.
Okay. And so between the 4 of you, it's the whole house?
Yeah.
No one else is there?
There's another unit in the front, but there's just like one person that lives down there. And then the 4 of us live upstairs.
In the front?
Yeah, like at the front door. There's like stairs down at the front of the house. And
there's, okay.
Like another separate unit right down there at the bottom. And I think it's like a 1-bedroom, maybe a 2-bedroom.
Are the stairs inside or outside?
They're outside.
Oh, okay. Is there access to that unit inside?
No.
Okay. 407-453. There is a separate unit with outside access to some stairs. That separate unit downstairs on the front cannot be accessed on the inside. So I'm assuming that you would like us to go through your place and make sure no one's there.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a sleep would be great.
So what I'd like you guys to do is stay in the vehicle and keep the doors locked until we come back to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
407-453. The complainant kicked the person they saw and the person ran away, and maybe about 15 minutes ago. So we don't know if there's anyone in here, but they would like us to search. We're already inside the back and I think it'll work well. We do have part of the basement to search as well. Super violent because they're avoiding people who are awake.
That would make sense.
All the cobwebs are intact.
Like nobody tried to move anything.
Yeah, yeah,
So maybe they just unlocked it.
yeah,
As like
Like maybe they thought it would be easier to get out that way.
yeah.
and then
I
ended
don't know.
up just going up the stairs when I
Yeah.
the shit out of
They,
them.
I guarantee you they were not expecting that. Because I'm wondering why they didn't come into my room because my room is closer.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that, and it may. So she thought you had a television on.
I did. I
I
TV
could
on.
hear. I
That
could
was the
hear
only
your
thing that I
TV
could
from
think.
outside your room.
Oh,
So-
so maybe they like knew that I was
Between
awake,
between the light and the sound, they probably assumed that you were awake.
which I was. I was wide awake. I was just like in my bed. I didn't even
Mhm.
I didn't hear anything. I was zoned out into reality TV.
Which is, yeah,
So
that. So anyway, that indicates to me that it's not someone who's like super bold and super violent because they're avoiding people who are awake.
That would make sense.
So yeah, you're.
So this is quite interesting, and
whatever you want to do. I'm going to take off. We will be nearby for at least a period of time. Please do lock everything, and we're just a phone call away. But when seconds counts, the police are only minutes away. So feel free to
Okay.
kick people until we get here.
Yeah. I have no problem doing that.
do our best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming out and helping.
Take care.
Thank you. I don't think it's possible to lock these windows. They don't open.
at least he's checking around the area a little bit. So anyway, yeah, this is what, and that's what, like, that's like what the whole, all the videos are pretty much about that. And I can't figure that one out. It's like, so all these videos people are looking for, it's all about that house. And I mean, that should tell them something right there that, you know, it isn't Brian. It's too short to be Brian. So, you know what I mean? This happened, what, 10 of 21. So, what, 13 months before. So there's somebody around there that's going in, and he walked up to her while she was laying down in bed with the knife up, like he was going to stab her. And she kicked him in the stomach. So yeah, it's crazy. But you know, I've been looking at those docs and stuff too, and to me they're just. I know Lana showed something that was good today, but and I'm not going to reshare that. But most of it is like a lot of junk, just junk shit. And you think you think it's confusing with Moscow? Holy shit. I mean, this is like it's just a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. That's all I'm going to say. I think they're more corrupt than Moscow is. Why is there so much lying going on and deceiving and I don't get it. I don't get it. There shouldn't be any of that. There shouldn't be, especially now that he's pled. And they're still coming out with lies and stuff. Now they got what, 14 days. I can read that if you guys want to. I don't know if you guys seen that new doc drop or not. Let me see here. And back here, here. So this came out, what, yesterday, I think it was, or whatever. State of Idaho against Brian Kohlberger. A part of the process to review sealed records to determine what should be unsealed. The court will process the review of those documents from newest to oldest. The court will require the parties to indicate whether, let's see, is this, are you guys seeing this? Oh, you're not. Okay. There we go. I'll add it to the stage here. Okay. So the court will require the parties to indicate whether they have an objection to unsealing any specific document and if they believe a document should remain sealed. They must identify why redacting of the materials is not an acceptable arrangement and with detail and specificity why the documents should be sealed. From a both a legal and factual standpoint. Simply citing the court rule. Yeah, who's factual shit? Is it the factual stuff according to Hitler? You know what I'm saying? Simply citing a court rule without more is not a sufficient response. Simply citing a court rule without more is not a sufficient response. He's talking right to the defense right there. That's what he's doing right there. Simply citing the court rule without more is not sufficient response. Oh my God. The response must identify each document by date, name, and number of each document identified in order for review of sealed status of a particular group of documents. The parties must file a response, including, if appropriate, a notice of non-objection within 14 days of the court's order identifying a particular group of documents for review of sealed status. The first set of documents the court requires the parties' input as outlined above include the following documents. Dates refer to date of filing as reflected in the clerk's case summary. And then it goes on with the exhibits, sentencing hearing, which includes paragraphs of each of the deceased victims and a photograph of the 6 victims together. Okay, so I have a feeling that's going to be, we're not going to get that. Photographs. I don't think we're going to get that. I really don't think we're getting that. Orders modifying, amending, no contact order, opposition to motion to vacate, non-dissemination order, and all this stuff. I'm not going to go through all that. But this is what they have. 14 days. They have 14 days to challenge it or not challenge it or whatever. But I don't, Hitler has got a way. He just like, people that just kind of, you just don't get along with. You just can't, they just kind of push your buttons. He's that type with me. I don't have time for the dude. I really don't have time for the guy. The guy is, no. For one thing, he's disrespectful. He's he treated Ann Taylor like shit. I mean, he really treated her like shit. And the way he would rub his head and just like everything out of her mouth didn't mean a damn word or damn thing to him. Those kind of people just push my buttons. They have no respect for anybody but themselves and who they side with, and that's it. Yeah, his demeanor was insane. Exactly, Coco. If someone's trying to call me, my phone's in the other room, so I can't answer. It's charging in the other room, so I can't answer it. Okay, anyway, so we did that. I don't know who's trying to call me, but they aren't letting up. Okay, so I did that. Oh, yeah, that's right. Actually, he came out with a couple of them. Okay, this is from Ted. If you remember Ted, we haven't watched Ted for a while. Hitler on the phone. Coral. Right? Funny. Here's Ted. Anyway, Ted, we haven't heard from Ted for a while, so let's give a listen to Ted here.
What's up, guys? And hope your Sunday is going excellent. Okay, so let's talk more forensics, specifically blood forensics. Due to the recent MPD legal document drop, we are learning so much more about the forensic intel, both inside 1122 King and outside 1122 King. So let's circle back and now combine what we did know about the blood forensics and what we now know and ask ourselves, who are the 3 unknown male DNA? First up, we know that early on in the investigation, law enforcement was aware of 3 separate and distinct unknown male DNA profiles. Unknown male B is a blood spot found on an interior handrail of the stairwell leading from the first floor to the second floor. Unknown male D is blood found on a glove discovered in the front area of 1122 King shortly after the homicides. Unknown male C is literally a mystery. We know nothing about the location, nor do we know the specific type of DNA, blood, whether it's a print, etc. We only know that it is an unknown male DNA. For the purposes of this segment, we're really going to hone in on that unknown male B. In the recent legal drop from the MPD, some extremely explosive forensic intel came to light. We're not going to identify this individual, only say that he was one of the last known people to have seen two of the victims alive from 1122, but at least 1 week. We also know that cops searched his apartment after the homicides and found a collection of blood both on the outside and inside of the apartment, including the shower. Also important to note, we know that it appeared that some surfaces had been cleaned, so it's possible there was more blood present before any cleaning efforts. Despite all of this forensic intel, we know that the cops had essentially cleared him just a week after the homicides. But the most critical piece of intel of all, allegedly, it appears that cops never got
Oh my God, I hate that when that happens. Ugh. Okay, so anyway, back to where I was. There we go. I'll just
So let's circle back and now combine what we did know about the blood forensics and what we now know and ask ourselves, who are the three unknown male DNA? First up, we know that early on in the investigation, law enforcement was aware of three separate and distinct unknown male DNA profiles. Unknown male B is a blood spot found on an interior handrail of the stairwell leading from the first floor to the second floor. Unknown male D is blood found on a glove discovered in the front area of 1122 King shortly after the homicides. Unknown male C is literally a mystery. We know nothing about the location, nor do we know the specific type of DNA,
thank you,
blood,
Debbie.
whether it's a print, etc. We only know that it is an unknown male DNA. For the purposes of this segment, we're really going to hone in on that unknown male B. In the recent legal drop from the MPD, some extremely explosive forensic intel came to light. We're not going to identify this individual, only say that he was one of the last known people to have seen two of the victims alive. We know this person lived 150 feet from 1122 King. We know that he went missing after the homicides for a period of at least 1 week. We also know that cops searched his apartment after the homicides and found a collection of blood both on the outside and inside.
And we all know who this is, right? We all know who this is. And this is one of the people I've been saying from day one. And then he disappears for over a week. So they couldn't see his hands, and his hands would have healed. God damn, man.
Inside of the apartment, including the shower. Also important to note, we know that it appeared that some surfaces had been cleaned, so it's possible there was more blood present before any cleaning efforts. Despite all of this forensic intel, we know that the cops had essentially cleared him just a week after the homicide. But the most critical piece of intel of all, allegedly, it appears that cops never got a buccal swab from this individual, meaning they had no baseline DNA sample to do any testing.
Unreal.
So now let's take everything we've talked about and switch gears for a minute and talk about forensic transfer. Some of this will be speculative, but stay with me. It's important we use this data from a cleared suspect an unknown male DNA sample and do a direct comparison to Mr. Brian Koberger, who has been convicted and is serving life sentences for this crime. It has been my opinion all along that
Ted
during
is
this
good.
brutal and
He's got a
savage
good
attack of
channel.
4
He
humans
does a good
by
job,
edged weapon,
guys.
that the assailant likely would have gotten cut or injured along the way. If that is the case here, and also because we do not know the level of testing, if any, has been done. So according to my theory, if tested, I believe that blood found in his home and shower would reveal a mix of his blood and the victim's blood. If that mix is in his home and shower,
Right,
then it was
yep.
obviously transferred from inside 1122K. What I have just described is logically the exact type of forensic transfer that one would expect to see in such a brutal attack as this. Why does this matter? Well, let's take this data and translate it over to Mr. Koberger and do a direct comparison. We know that there was no Brian blood found inside 1122 King. We also know that there was not one drop of victim blood found inside Brian's car. So what does all of this tell us? To me, this tells us that the forensic transfer data pursuant to this cleared individual is representative of someone who could have committed this crime. And further, the forensic transfer data pursuant to Mr. Koberger is representative of someone who did not commit this crime. So not done yet, guys. Let's take this one step further. Let's take everything that we have just talked about and go back inside 1122 King and talk about the blood forensics and what we know to date as still being unknown male DNA. In order to properly investigate this crime, we know, based on what we've discussed so far, there's an individual who was out there that potentially fit the criteria for potential involvement or complicity in this crime. But the seemingly inexplicable fatal error along the way in the investigation is, why did the cops never get a buccal swab from this individual? Without
Me too,
that critical
Coco.
baseline DNA sample, you have no ability to do any comparison testing with any unknown male blood mixed with victim blood inside that home. And interestingly enough, at the Franks hearing, Ms. Ann Taylor was examining a couple of the state's witnesses and inquired directly about unknown male DNA sample B. Quote, unknown male DNA B is a DNA mixture, isn't it? To which the state's DNA expert succinctly responded, quote, I don't know. And you already know I saved the best for last. Ms. Ann Taylor was examining none other than MPD Payne at the Franks hearing. Quote, why did you not pursue this person? Meaning unknown male DNA B. To which MPD Payne responded, and please remember, we are talking about an extremely compelling piece of forensic evidence, a DNA mixture of the perpetrator's blood with a victim's blood inside the crime scene. Quote, at the time, we already had
that's
Mr.
it right
Koberger's
there.
name. And so we'll stick
Think about
with
that.
a tiny speck of skin cells from the...
Think about that for a second. You have a mixture of blood in one of the samples of unknown DNA and one of the victims. What does that tell you? Any common sense? What does that tell you if you're doing an investigation? If you're doing an investigation and you find out that there was a blood mixture of a victim and an unknown, what would you do? Wouldn't you go and find out whose DNA that is? That's the killer. Exactly, Cryptic. Exactly. Boom. That's the killer. And it isn't Brian's DNA. Like I said, Ted does a good job. He always does. Make sure you like up his channel. He always does a good job.
Sheath, and we can revisit it down the road if we need to. Now I ask you, everything that we have discussed herein, does this make any sense at all? And who is the real unknown male DNA B? Talk to me.
Very good, Ted. Very good.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, make sure you like up and subscribe. He's only got 896 views, and that was 2 days ago. He's got some comments here, though. Question is, why would they not look deep into JS with all that evidence? Is it because of all the money his family donated? Is it the political power his foster parents have? Seems to me JS's parents need a good investigation to see what law enforcement officers they control and if there are any connections to Fry or Bad Santa. Did anyone JS parents connect to all of a sudden end up rich? That's a good one. Definitely a good one. Anyway, that's that. I do need to go get something real quick here. I'll be right with you. I hope everybody's having a good week. I'm hoping to feel better by Friday and have a kick-ass show on Friday. I'm hoping. Let me see here. I hope he didn't kick me again. Oh, I can just do it right from there. I don't even have to download. Okay, here's okay, just to show you what some of these girls do, all right? Just to show you what some of these girls do, I'm going to show you. This is Madison Moy. These are some of the things that they do. I mean, so this is nothing. You see what I'm saying? Oh, look who liked. Oh, look who liked it. Saeed. There's our buddy Saeed. Who liked this one? Oh, Saeed liked that one too. And that one. That was March 12th of 24. So like I'm saying, translucent, right? But you know, that's what those young girls do nowadays. You know, so was Kaylee or Maddie or Xana or, you know, were they doing that kind of stuff and being a sugar daddy, sugar baby or whatever? You know, I mean, it can be very possible. But in my book, they need to investigate JS and JT. I'm sorry. And I still have a pair of jacks in my hand, and I can't let go of them. And it's been 2.5 years, and I still cannot let go of them. I mean, and you would think when the police call, right? When the police calls JS and he's at the cabin or the parents' place or other place or whatever, 5 hours away or whatever it is, you would think they'd say, "Can you come in?" We want to talk to you. Instead of just doing an interview on the phone. I mean, how fucking stupid. How fucking stupid is that? You have to have them come in. Oh. Right, Deborah? Thank you, Kogo. And that's Ted's right there. It's the Mr. Manhattan. People have a hard time finding Ted because there's another Ted that does stuff. It's actually T space E space D. But Coco's got it right there. He's actually the dot Mr. dot Manhattan. So, but his channel is Ted. So, anyway, and what else do I got here? Is this, which one is this one now? Okay, so this one. And this is something too that everybody needs to investigate. And I know some people are we have been, is the girls. And Nika put out a video here just recently. I was going to show this on that last one, the last show I did, and we got, how did we get sidetracked? I can't remember what it was. We went a different route anyway. The shit happens. So I'm going to show it now because I think it's important. And it's Nika's Nero Nuggets. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this because she's got 4,000 views on this. JM says girls had issues with sorority girls. Now, we wondered about that, and we've talked about that here at Once Upon a Crime Time. We've talked about these girls and the sorority girls because Kaylee and Maddie, they quit the sororities. And that's like a big no-no. That's like, you don't do that. You don't do that. And we know that there were some problems between. Here's another thing. All you have to do is look at the grub truck. That's all you got to do is look at the grub truck and how they were shunned by everybody. I mean, even the girls. They didn't talk to anybody. Except Maddie went up to number 9 and gave him a hug. And the only other person is she turned around to JS and said, "Fuck you, mister." But otherwise, they didn't talk to anybody, and nobody talked to them. It was like they were being shunned by even all the girls. It was almost like the whole town was shunning them. It's like, what the hell? What's going on? You know? Let's hear what Nika has to say.
Please go watch my first 2 lives I made today. Kind of filming in between work right now. Yeah. So bear with me. I am pulling up this document here. It is a document that is talking about the girls. More girls, more people coming forward, discussing the victims specifically. And again, if you did not watch the 2 lives that I just made, specifically the last live that I just made, go watch that first, go get angry, go get triggered, and then come back here. Because we like to paint people who have passed away as like perfect angels, and nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. And please, when I pass away, yeah, be honest. Say I was a biatch or whatever. Say I was blunt. Anyway, this document is saying these girls had issues with sorority girls and also had a stalker. So give it a like. Give the video a like. I'm pulling this up now. It's a 5-page document. I'm going to get right to the nitty-gritty. This is one of the most important documents here, I believe, that were dropped. This is Law Supplemental Narrative 42, typed up by our favorite officer, one of our favorites, Mallory. I don't have time to discuss the first couple pages, but these are like gold nuggets being dropped here, right? They're talking about the series of events according to Dylan's point of view.
Your mom was muted. Latitude. I think we can find that out actually here at Once Upon a Crime Time. I think we can find that out. I think she was saying that to JS, but I think we can find that out. We can talk to Joe. I'm pretty sure. Wait and see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can. Actually, we're gonna find that out. We're gonna find that out. We can find that out. I never thought of that before, but we can find that out. I think it was JS myself, but yeah, okay. She said it to JS. She said it to JS. Yeah. That's already been asked. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but the way I looked at it is that she was pointing at Jack Showalter because they were trying to ditch him. They were trying to get away from him. You could tell by their body language and how they pretty much ran from him. Okay, Debbie, I will do that. How far up is it? What happened? What do you mean what happened? I don't understand what you're saying. Oh, have you seen that new guy doing American Horror Story about the people by the whites? No, I don't think so. No, have not. I don't even know what American what's it on. People by the whites. Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about, Debbie. No, I don't know. Yeah, I was muted there for a little while. Oh, he's on YouTube and TikTok. Oh no, okay. No, I don't. Oh, okay. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. And it's on YouTube. She said it was. What was it? American Horror Story. Is that what it was? is that? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, American Horror Story, and that's on YouTube about the people by the lights. Yeah, I'll check it out, girl. Um, okay, well, it's maybe I can look it up right now. Maybe well, let's let Nika play out here.
You?
At least someone.
They're also asking Bethany some questions. They're also asking what I believe to be Hunter Johnson and Emily some questions. And basically their point of view and how they found the bodies, how things happened. And there are, in my opinion, some contradictions. By the way, this is my disclaimer before we get started.
Okay,
my
Coco.
opinions, my theories, these are to be utilized for entertainment purposes only. So let's talk about J.M., right? So J.M. is somebody who was born in 2003. Let me know who you think J.M. is in the chat and in the comment section as well. J.M. said she texted B, Bethany, probably at 11:20 hours on the mornings of 11/13/22. J asked B if she was awake. J asked B. J said B called her back at 11:49 hours. B told J, so Bethany told J, she and Dylan were in Bethany's room. J said Bethany was freaked out because her roommates were not answering the phone. Jay said she heard Dylan, probably, it's a D, because, yeah, Dylan is in the room with Bethany, we know that, on the phone in the background saying, I saw something. Jay said Bethany asked her to come over to 1122 King Road and pick her up. Jay said Bethany texted her while she was driving there and said,
if you haven't exercised in years, you have to start small with my beginner-friendly Tai Chi class.
E and H were on the way as well. E and H, I am assuming, is Hunter and Emily, his girlfriend. Jay said as she arrived, MPD units were arriving as well. So they called her before they called the cops, just so you know. Just so you know. For people who are still saying that the victims were not at the house, they were at a hotel. No, bitch. I'm sorry, no. Unless you have proof, unless you have images and live videos that have not been manufactured. These girls were at the house, right? Jay says she did not go to the party, but went to a different one instead. Jay said Bethany and Dylan came to this other party after she left. So JM is a she. Estimated Dylan left her party at 12:30 in the morning, and Bethany left her party at around 1 a.m. on 11/13/2022. So Dylan and Bethany did not leave together, according to JM. JM said she was in blank with D, L, B, and Xana. I'm assuming in some type of sorority with probably Dylan. Whoever L is, it's a female. It's not Loesch, it's a female, right? Bethany and Xana. Jay said Xana and Maddie were both in blank sorority, but they dropped out. Another typo. So many typos here. And Kaylee was in blank, but dropped as well. So all these girls are getting dropped, right? They're dropping from their sororities. Jay suspected the girls dropped their respective sorority because of issues with other girls in the houses. Again, none of us are perfect. This is not to shame any of the victims, not to shame them. They dropped out. If they were dropped, they dropped. Were they dropped? Did they choose to leave? But it says JM suspected that they dropped their respective sororities because of issues with other girls in the houses. Meaning what? Let's be honest with each other for once, please. Right? This is not about money, I don't think. Those girls had money. Okay, they're buying Range Rovers, they're traveling, they're blah blah blah. This is not about money, I don't think. This is not about fees. There's somebody here saying they had issues with other girls in the houses. That sounds like, you know how girls can be. Let's be honest, you know how girls can be. They can push other people out of social circles, so on and so forth. What kind of issues were these girls having with their respective sororities? JM specifically cited girls in the executive board who tell other members what to do. Jay suspected this was what they didn't like. See, it's not about money. They didn't like being told what to do by these girls in the executive board in the sororities. This is not about money. The issue regarding the sorority is not about money. Jay said the girls who were still.
And we've been looking into this a little bit too, because these sororities really need to be looked into. I mean, they were having some major problems with those girls. And Danielson. Oh, okay. Did you find it? They fell him like $150 on Kaylee's nights. Wait a minute here. Let me see what they fell him like $150 on Kaylee's nightstand if she used a bank card for drinks. Why is she needing cash unless she was paid for something? Oh wow. I didn't know that. Translucent. Good one. Dang. That's a really good one. Wow. I didn't know that they found $150 on her nightstand. Holy fuck. That's crazy as hell. Why would there be $150 on her fucking nightstand? Interesting. Yeah, that's a big boom. That's a big boom, Chance. 154, Mrs. Knapp said. Wow. Yeah, same. Social Glow says the same thing. That's a big boom. That is, man. What the fuck? Okay. And I guess it's Daniel's son. I'll look that up. Okay. Maybe look
Active
that up
members of the
and
sorority
give me a link
who chose to not live in the house did so because of money issues.
so I can let this run
That
out.
is separate. Okay. So Jay is saying, yes, there were other girls that were still active members that
Get
didn't
me,
live in
girl.
the house because they couldn't afford it.
Okay, thank
But
you.
for the ones that dropped, which was who? Kaylee, Xana, Maddie. Sounds like they had issues with the girls in the executive board. Again, why does this matter? They don't like being told what to do. When you join a sorority, when you join a fraternity, wake up call here for a lot of people who don't realize that it's literally a cult. Okay, I can tell you, somebody who has a pile of degrees, myself, random degrees, and attended like amazing universities, right? We are exposed to sororities, fraternities, what goes on. This is a cult. And if you don't follow the rules that the cult members, aka the executive boards, want you to follow, you're not going to fit in. You're going to have issues. And depending on how much information you may have, or how much, even more, what to Officer Mallory, right?
This
JM said Maddie was Bethany's big sister in the sorority house, but JM also said she knew Kaylee saw a dark figure staring at she had a stalker just for shits and giggles. I don't think so. If those words come out of a woman's mouth, is probably because she is concerned, right? She's probably concerned. So here she is, Kaylee, letting people know that she has a stalker. There was a dark figure watching her from the tree line when she took her dog Murphy out to pee. It sounds like she had been stalked for a month. What's the other thing that happened a month before? So 3 weeks before, Jack Ducour was dumped by Kaylee. Is there a correlation there? Let me know your thoughts. Could there be a correlation there? JM said this occurred about a month ago at 1122 King Road. Did they ever tell the cops? Did they ever mention it to Moscow Police Department? And if they did, I want to know if they actually put in a report or made a call, because then this is something that could potentially fall back on Moscow PD if they didn't do any follow-up investigation, right? Every little detail matters here. JM said there had been lighthearted talk and jokes made about a stalker in the past. JM said all the girls were slightly nervous about it being a fact, though. So they kind of nervously joked about it, okay? But it happened. They were being watched. Specifically, JM mentions Kaylee being watched. And what's interesting is that we know that, according to the reports, the weird stuff on November 13th started happening right after Bethany and Maddie took Murphy out to pee. So was the stalker watching him out there from the tree line as he had been watching for the past month or so? It's very possible. JM did not indicate any social media issues or issues between the girls who lived together. So they didn't have issues amongst themselves. Allegedly, according to JM statement, but they did have issues with the other girls. Is it possible that the stalker
I'm really saying that the girls have to be looked into too. And I mean, guys could have, if there would have been like 3 girls, they could have done this. They could have done this. Or they could have talked some boys into it. If they were having that kind of problems. I know quitting the sorority is not a cool thing. I know that. And it is like a cult. It's like a Greek cult. The same with didn't Ethan quit too? Didn't all 4 of them quit? I think they did. Yeah, I agree. So I think those girls played a part. Oh, I love Tina. Right. Yeah, and Rosie, he disappears. He fucking they took him out of I don't even know what he's doing. If he's pushing papers or what he's doing. He's not on parole or patrol. He's not on patrol anymore. Isn't that strange? So let's go to this one that you're talking about. I got the link here. Okay, so I'll let this come up. Of course, it's coming up on the YouTube app. I hate that app. I don't even know how it got on my phone, on my computer. Okay, so oh, I know this guy. Yeah, I know. I'm subscribed to Daniel's son. Yeah, I know this dude. Which one are you looking for, though? He does all these shorts. Let me see if I can find. Videos. Does he do videos? I always see just shorts. Here's one, part 1 and 2. Are you talking about the shorts or his regular videos? Debbie. Okay, Debbie, you might have to give a warning. Okay, I can do that. Video and not the shorts. Okay. American Horror Story. Okay. All right. And I'll put up a warning here. So there is a trigger warning on this here. And let me get there. Okay, so where are we at here? There we go. And put that up there. Okay, so you're talking these right here, right? There. Are you talking these right here? This is part 2. This is part 1 plus 2 or something. I'll just click on this first one here. Is that what you want me to do? This has been 12 hours ago. I'll do this one. I watch this. Yep.
Demonstrate some of
I
the
did. I didn't like
edits and some of the work I do on this clip, which shows what I believe to be of SA. And here we have an individual in a baklava, and he's wearing some kind of white long sleeve shirt and black gloves. This is another person. I believe he was at the food truck because there was an individual there, kind of of the same stature, the same kind of build, lean and tall. And he's wearing the same cap. You'll see right now. It's a white cap. The half front is white, and then the back side is black. And in the food truck video, he's wearing a black jacket, but I think he took it off here. And these are his hands. Someone had mentioned that something about black electrical gloves or something like that. I'm not sure who or where, but I'm certain that somewhere regarding all of this, somebody had said that. Right. And so we're zooming in here. It's not cleaned up yet. It's
kind of
as I and walk you through some of the features and some of the things that I do. A lot of this is not really, I don't have like a method per se, kind of just like it depends on the scene and like the features in the scene, because the way that they've manipulated it, it's not manipulation. I mean, like manipulation and the tampering that was done to the footage is not cohesive throughout. They really have done it like from frame to frame, right? And so in one frame, I might get like a really clean picture, a really nicely fine-tuned picture of what is going on, and then a few frames later, it'll be totally distorted, and I'll have to do it again. But then the work on that frame will kind of reverse the work that I did on the other frame. And so this is just an effort to try to show some of the obstacles or some of the challenges that I'm dealing with.
Yeah, he's just kind of showing how he does this stuff.
This is taken from JLR's video. I know the other video has it as well. Right here. Maybe in a little bit of better quality, but since I already had this available in my photos, I'm just working with this. to make it a little bit easier, hopefully, for myself. Right, and so this is the original. I mean, really, you can't really. I mean, if you were to look at this straight off the bat, first of all, you wouldn't even draw attention to this because we're under the. So that's already kind of one of the things that sets us up to not want to take notice of anything that is happening here, because we have been told that this is just a routine stop of some intoxicated teens or whatever, and there's nothing to see here. Right, and so already our attention is not going to be focused in the way that needs to be focused, and so that's kind of like the first challenge. This footage in particular was brought to my attention, and this is really the reason why I started looking at all of this, is because of this specific scene, because of our dear friend Ray, who went on the Outcast podcast and very urgently asked us if we saw anything, and a lot of people there didn't, and I did. And that's why I started doing all of this. And so thank you, Ray. You're awesome. I love you. You're so courageous and so brave and so keenly attuned to noticing the oddities and the incongruencies in this footage. And so, right, like I was saying, first off, you wouldn't think that there's anything here, right? But thankfully, Ray pointed it out, and I picked up on it, and I saw it. And like I was saying, this is a famous fire hydrant area where they found the jacket. And I believe this is Maddie. I think that's her. I think that's Mogan. I think she's being assaulted by this individual, the individual at the food truck. And the reason I believe this, I'm not just saying this. I went back to the food truck video, and this person that I'm describing, this guy, this POS, is there. He's there. I'm 100% sure it's him. He's there. And when I mentioned this in some other videos, the way that those guys rush up, like 4 or 5 of them rush up all at the same time to pick up their order, he is one of them. And I believe that was kind of like a rehearsal for what was going to happen later. And he is one of them. And the way that he is standing, the way that he is looking over to Maddie and to Kaylee, and his line of sight, his vision, and his entire body language and the way he is positioned in relation to them, I believe in, even when he goes to pick up his order, I think he says hi to them. And that's even the most kind of disturbing thing, is that what I'm trying to say is that he's like looking at her, like he's going to have her for dinner later. I'm not even joking. Like, go back and look at the food truck video and really kind of like pick up on that scene when those 4 or 5 guys they all rush to pick up their orders. And somebody in one of the comments had said at one point, it just looks like their orders was up. And yeah, you might think that, but if you look at the video completely before the girls arrive, there's like this group of guys just standing in the back, just lurking around. And the guys that go up and get their order at the same time are lurking around kind of like in the right hand side corner of the footage. And they're just like lurking around, looking around. They're literally, one of them is like, he's like, I think the boss guy, the one in charge of the group. He's like looking around. He's looking around. And the moment that the girls get there, one of the guys in the other group on the left-hand side, very quickly, like he notices and he looks around and he sees them coming. And then he goes over to the other group of guys where I don't know if he's standing there, but he goes over to them and he talks to them. And I made this in another video. I pointed it out. And they go up and I'm pretty sure he's telling them, hey, that's them, bro. Like, you guys ready? And so then they gather, the hoodlums gather. And then somebody had said, oh, their order was this up. But that's BS, because you could tell by looking at the camera that none of them have even looked at their numbers. And they wait for the leader of them to walk up to get his order. And then when they see him going, you can literally see this in the video. They all see him going, and then all of them, they just, without looking at their numbers, without getting a text that the order was ready, they all rush to the girls and they encircle and enclose the girls for like a whole 45 seconds. I counted the time. It's like 45 seconds that they're like huddled a mass around the girls. And this guy, this POS, is looking at them, and especially looking at Maddie, like literally, like he's like savoring what he's about to do. And like I said, at one point he even looks at her, like he even acknowledges her and says hi, and she's kind of tanked a little bit, right? And so she just kind of like looked at him like, "Are you talking to me?" But he does say, "Hey, what's going on?" or "Hey, what's up?" or something like that. And she doesn't say anything back. And then he smiles and he gets his order, and then he walks away, right? But anyways, so right, we have this baklava guy. And I mean, you might not be able to tell right away, but I mean, I can. Like, this is a person. That's a person. That's a nose. That's a mouth. That's a baklava. He's holding Maddie's arm with both his arms. He has both his arms around her. And then this guy has some military training, I think, some kind of military self-defense training, because the way that he's holding her, grabbing her, is a military move to restrain people, where you grab their arm from behind and you put your hand on their shoulder and you twist their arm around yours. So basically, like, their hand is kind of like underneath your armpit, and then you have a really good hold on them. And it's what military people use to restrain people, like cops and stuff like that. Like, that's what they teach you, like how to restrain someone. And the more you push up with your arm, the more painful it gets, and the easier it is for you to restrain that person. All right, so let's see. I'm not sure how well. I mean, I'm probably gonna use up a lot of memory recording this, but who cares? So this is your original, right? Again, and the black point makes the black color more intense. And sometimes I like to, the contrast is good because it just gives everything more kind of definition, the blacks, the darker colors. So let's see what happens if we do this, right? We're playing around with the contrast. And the way I've kind of figured out how to do this is you manipulate these settings up to a point where, for example, like right here, right? These outlines of this color, they're really kind of apparent, right? And they're sticking out really kind of awkwardly. And so what I do, the way I've been doing this is like I will adjust whatever setting I'm working with until they're less apparent, right? But not too much. Just enough to where like they're still kind of barely visible, and then I'll just leave it there, and then I'll go and I'll adjust some other settings. And so in this instance, and what I figured out is like you might have to like tweak this brightness down and then like work this contrast up, and then depending on the scene and the frames and whatever's going on, this will reveal more details, right? And so here I'm starting to think that we do need this to be more, the contrast slightly elevated. And then let's bring down the brightness a little bit, and then let's do exposure to see what that does. Exposure is kind of you want to really have a as little as possible, because it makes things really bright and it can distort some features. The highlights, I don't really mess around too much unless it is really useful for bringing out some details that normally wouldn't be available. So in this case, I think we should bring the highlights down, because that gives us, do you see this? It gives us more definition here in these garments. And so here maybe there's blood on him, perhaps. We'll see. Look, we'll bring the exposure down, and then you're starting to see we bring it all the way up. You see skin, right? And like I said, she's being assaulted. And I believe this is her jacket that she was wearing. And in this area, in the reports, they found underwear and clothing and pipes and stuff like that, right? And they just left it there. They didn't think it was, I mean, of course it was evidence, but they just disregarded it completely. Not by accident, of course, because they knew exactly what happened here, and they just left it there, right? So let's bring exposure down, and then let's bring brightness up. I think we're gonna have to put the brightness down, exposure down, right? Like I was saying, you want to draw out the features, but not too strongly. So then we'll do, what happens if we do this? Let's do this. You see what I mean? Like I kind of, I don't want to say I messed it up, but this will happen to like, well, I'll start seeing some nice shapes, some nice textures, some good definition, and then I'll do something, and then I'll just like undo all my hard work. All right. And also what I've learned is like, you don't want any of these options Let's bring exposure down. Highlights. I think in this case, it'll be good to have the highlights down. And then let's do this. See what I mean? Yeah, let's do highlights down. Brightness, black point. All right. And then picks up on some of the nuances a little bit more. So I'll do this initially, and then I feel like let's do that. A lot of this is, for me, it's a guessing game because I've no experience editing pictures, editing anything really. And so a lot of this, I still don't really know. I know how it works to a certain degree, but I don't know how it works also. So I kind of just play around with it as I go along, right? And see if it's working. And I guess there's no correct way to go about how to, like, there's no manual somewhere in the world, in the internet, that you could have to like how to like unmanipulate images that were purposely manipulated by law enforcement to anywhere, because that's not supposed. That's why it's so necessary for, if you're curious do some more edits and mess up what I have so far. I guess doing this, I'll show you some of my 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro chip, 16 gigabytes of unified memory or whatever. Now we have M3 chips and an M4 Pro Max chip, and there's, I think the newest version of the computer that I have has like 24 gigabytes of unified memory, like the basic, like the first, like the startup lineup model. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's better than this. And see how we're kind of struggling right now to duplicate the video. I'm gonna stop recording and then
I gotta get that stupid app off my computer. I hate it when it goes to the YouTube app because it just is junk. I'd rather just go to the page, you know what I mean? Oh yes, and congratulations to Social. She is now a mod. And welcome aboard, girl. And now you can share links. So yeah, we went through that stuff a long time ago, and it's being brought back up again. Some people have a hard time seeing it. I'm a little better at it now because of the reflection series. I had to really learn how to see that stuff, and yeah. Sometimes I don't see stuff, but I did see some of that. So, yeah. Anyway, that was Daniel's son. I did leave a link once, I think. Yeah. And here's the link right there to him. Let me see here. What is this one now? Okay, let me see. Did I run this once already? I might run this again if I haven't. I'm not sure if I ran this or not. We can watch part of this, and then I'll probably call it. It's been over a couple of hours already. Holy cow, time really flies by. You know what? I'm going to show what I showed. There's yeah, we lost about 40 people there during that time that I had some problems. But I want to show this one more time. What I showed at the beginning.
Do you like golf, Yvonne? It's my specialty. And a hole-in-one is a hard shot to make. You've got to be deadly accurate. Because if you hit the...
Yeah, and then you can see what happens there, and they use the golf club. And I'm pretty sure, if anything, because the head's like that and down, and that's what happens when someone's got each arm, your head's going to go down. And I'm sure that's what happened. And the golf club is what made the marks on the face, and also the STAB in the head, because the head, the head's down like that. And we talked about this shit, and we're pretty sure that that's probably what happened right there. And that would take 3 people, one on each arm and one with the golf club. And we've been over today that, you know, Bethany, again, I'll restate this. Bethany heard what she thought was a firecracker and a flash of light. Well, light bulbs, when they're hitting, they kind of do that little pop, almost like a little, pop, and then the flash, and they do flash. And if they came in that bottom door, which I think they did, they didn't come in the sliding glass door. They came in the first floor door and then went to the golf club room. And I'm pretty sure. And they grabbed the golf club, and when they were coming up, either when they were taking it out of the thing, they hit the light, that, or they hit one in the hallway to darken it. One of the two. And she probably seen that flash and thought she heard the popping and probably sounded like a firecracker. I'm pretty sure that's they went into the first floor. They didn't come in the sliding glass door and then go down and get the golf club and come back up. They didn't do that. They came in the bottom floor. They went out the sliding glass door probably. And I say they. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I got for tonight. And I love you guys, man. You guys are awesome. That's all I can say. And to put up with me. Yeah. Anyway, I'll have to play that for Randy. Since Randy, you still here, brother? I got one for you. Oh, and that could be too, Mrs. Johnny Knapp. That's a good one. Drop a flashlight. That could be very well. But that tells me they were on the bottom floor. That tells me they were on the bottom floor. I don't think they went in the sliding glass door. I think they went in the bottom, Bethany's floor. Right, Debbie. Yeah. Anyway, so my subs, you are my heart, and my mods, my producers, my investigators, you are my soul. And until next time, rock and roll. And the Randy, this one's for you, brother. when I heard this, and Twat messaged me saying they blocked her, they sealed their phone record. I'm going, what the F? Come on. Unbelievable. So what's next? What's next at Mr. Hitler? Hitler, you're a piece of shit, dude. You're a piece of shit. Retire. Retire. You're a piece of shit in my book, man.
You think we both